everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. If you are new here, hey, what's up? I'm Hannah and I like to do lifestyle videos on my channel like this one. It would mean a lot if you would subscribe and click the little bell icon down below so you get notified when I post and you won't miss my videos in your subscription boxes. But anyway, today's video is how to save your money, have a budget, and prepare for your future. That's pretty deep, but I mean, it all starts with savings, right? Because a few weeks ago I did a video on how to make money in 2017, and a lot of you guys liked those ideas, but you also wanted to see how I like to save my money and manage my money. So I'm getting the most out of it, I'm getting what I need, not just what I want, but also some wants, and you know, I'm able to take care of it all. So today I'm going to be showing you how I budget, what I use to budget, and some tips for just saving money in general. Let's go ahead and get started with this video. I hope you find it helpful, and yeah, keep watching. So before I even get into budgeting and saving money, first off, once you start making money, you need to realize what money means to you. And this isn't just like, well, I want money so I can not have to look at the price tag when I shop. Go deeper than just that. I found this little exercise on one of my favorite blogs, The Every Girl. I'll have it linked below. They have great articles on everything for life, and it's sort of like the type of videos I want to do on my channel. They have this exercise from financiallywisewoman.com. And it's a money values exercise. So first off, you ask yourself the question, what does money mean to me? In their example here, they said money means to them security. Then you ask yourself, what does security mean to me? Their answer, freedom to do what I want. What does freedom mean to me? More time to give back to others. What does giving back mean to me? Making a difference in the world. You keep asking yourself a question, implementing your answer from the previous question into that question until you sort of get to the core of what money means to you. So they went from what does money mean to me to money means making a difference in the world. So whether that's it for you or like whatever money means to you, you need to figure that out, because then money is going to have way more of an importance than just like buying that $6 latte that I want. Money's going to have a bigger importance to you, so it's going to make you want to save it more. So just keeping your values of money in your head and just being reminded of that can really help your management and see the value of it. So that's just the first little thing. Now let's get into the actual budgeting. And so I started following Kate Flanders. My mom actually showed her to me, and her story is super cool. Basically, she went on a 2-year shopping ban and paid off all of her student loans in those 2 years. And anyway, you can just go read about her story. I'll have her linked below, because I also use her digital budget. I make not a set amount of money each month. With YouTube, it all depends on the month, what videos get watched, what sponsorships I do. So I wanted a digital budget that I could just type in and change things on my computer. So I downloaded her digital budget. It's completely free, and I'm going to show you how I use it here in a second. She also has a planner that she sells if you like writing down things, and her planner is super cool. This is how I use my budget, basically just laying it out and some guesstimate numbers. I'm not using the exact money I make and the exact money I spend just for personal sake, but just some examples of how much I would spend out of my paycheck. So here it is. Okay, so this is what the budget looks like when you download it. I've already added in some fees. This will all mostly be blank with like example stuff, but then you can obviously add in whatever. Start up here at income. So these are just example numbers. Maybe you get an allowance, you can put that in there, or maybe you work and you get that money. She already has all of the equations laid out. So when you change something here, so say it's more like $10, it's going to change this amount. Okay, so then we have debt payment. She has this example here. Maybe you have these things, maybe you don't. I don't deal with these things, so I'm not going to talk about it because I don't have personal experience with it, but if you do, there's a section here. Then we get into savings, which I'm going to talk about next. Okay, now we get into our fees. It can be fun or sad. First, I have the fees that recur every month. So my Netflix bill, my Spotify bill, and my iCloud. I know what it's going to be, and that's what it ends up being. Then we get into food. So I budgeted $15 for coffee this month. At the end of the month, I may check it and be like, oh, I actually only spent $10 on coffee this month. So I have $5 left over, which I did good about, and that'll show up down here at the bottom. But let's fill these in. So let's say you go out to eat and you actually spend $40 out to eat this month. Then it's going to do a minus here because you went over your budget a bit. So here is what you budgeted for the month. You budgeted that out of your $320 paycheck, you were going to spend $293.99. This is what you actually spent. So in the examples I gave, I did go over the budget a bit by $9. So let's say you went back in and you're like, okay, I'm actually going to spend less on clothes. I'm going to spend only $20 on clothes. I am going to walk some more and I'm going to only spend $50 on gas this month. And so now you only spent $284.99 out of your $320. So all your leftover money can then go into the next month. So that is how I basically do my budget. I just add all these things. The main things I look at is my income to my actual spent ratio. So yeah, that is how I use this budget spreadsheet. Yeah, let's keep going with the video. So it can be a bit tedious, but I've grown to actually really like recording what I buy because it makes me feel like I have a grasp on my life, you know? Instead of only checking my bank statements once a month and being like, oh wow, I spent that much on that, I actually really know what it's going to, and I feel like I can spend more in some places. It's not just being super like military on it, like no, you're not spending anything. It honestly makes me feel better when I'm budgeting because I know what I can spend money on. And I recommend checking your bank and budgeting if you are going to start budgeting, but at least checking your bank balance and statements once a week. Once a week on a Friday or a Sunday, and I look at my bank statements, add everything new into my digital budget, and then I can sort of see how I'm doing that week. And I do a new budget spreadsheet every month. So the one you just saw was a January example. So let's talk about savings. If you saw on there, I had a tithe and a savings little section on my spreadsheet. And I do both. So tithe is mentioned in the Bible as giving 10% of your earnings to God. Just to give thanks, sort of like your offering. And so I follow that. I give around 10% a month to charity. I'll give it to my church. Or recently, one of my friends was going on a mission trip and she was doing a fundraiser for it. So I gave my tithe money for a few months to her. And it's basically giving my money to whatever God calls me to give it to. And even if you're not religious, you can still do this by giving that money to charities or giving that to someone you know who needs the money. And I just think God and the universe, it pays you back. Like the more you give, the more you receive. So I find it's very necessary for me to give because I've been truly blessed being able to make the money that I do at my age. I definitely want to give back. So that's my way of giving back. And then savings is the way of giving back to myself in the future. I have a separate savings account in my bank. It's not a checking account. I never take money out of it. So basically I try to save 10 to 20% every month for my paycheck, just depending on how it is going. I'll take out 20% at the end of the month and put it into my savings, and I don't touch it. I'm personally saving my savings for when I get out of high school, when I graduate and I'm living on my own, whether in college or I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but just when I'm out on my own, that's what my savings is for. But maybe your savings is for a car or just for a rainy day. You just want to make sure you have that money saved in case something, because you never know when a tragedy is going to happen. So it's always good to have that safe fund. So it's always good to keep a savings no matter how young you are. If you're in middle school, start savings with like $5 or however much you want to put in. Just start a savings. You'll feel so much better. So being in high school, I know like we always want to go out with friends, we always want to hang out or with our families, but mostly with friends, going out to the movies, and everything's just so expensive nowadays. Like going out to the movies, if you buy snacks, it can be like $50. Some of my tips for saving money but not feeling left out when your friends are out spending money or they ask you to go to the mall this Saturday and you're like, I want to hang out with you, but I can't like spend the money. So here are a few of my tips. The first one is to not reward yourself with something that costs money. So a lot of times what I do to myself is like, okay, if I get really good grades on my finals, then I'm going to buy this new swimsuit that's really expensive and I really want it. And that's good, you know, rewards are good, but if you don't have that in your budget this month and you just can't afford that, then make the reward something else. Instead of buying this $80 swimsuit, triangle swimsuits, instead go out to coffee with a friend, which is going to be still some money. It's like $6 or so, but you're going to have like a fun, engaging conversation with your friend, and you know, you still feel like you rewarded yourself, but it doesn't cost money. To save even more money, have a little coffee shop at your house. So invite your friends over, you know, you can bring a book. You guys can do like a little reading thing where you all like drink your coffee and tea and you read a book, or you can watch like an old-timey movie that you find for free on your TV. It's like going out, but you're saving so much money. I find outdoorsy things also are very cheap, if not free, and they're activities. So I live in the mountains, so sometimes, you know, me and my friends will go on a hike. Or if you live by a beach, you guys can just go lay out on the beach, bring some of your own snacks so you're not tempted to buy the overpriced tourist beach snacks, and, you know, just hang out and have a good time. My last little tip is if your friends are going shopping, you know, window shopping, it's never window shopping. You're always going to buy stuff unless you don't bring your wallet. So me and my friend Indra, we went to Trader Joe's the other day and I didn't have my wallet, and it's crazy how many things I would reach for to grab and then I was like, wait, I can't pay for this. So you're forced, literally forced, to not buy anything. So, you know, if it comes down to it and they're all going shopping but you still want to hang out, just don't bring more than $10. Bring more than $10 and you will be forced to not buy anything. So there you go, guys. Those were my tips and how I budget, how I save my money, how I manage it. I'm definitely not the best, but you know what? We're working slowly towards that goal, so I'm getting there. You can work with me on this. If you enjoyed this video and you want more like lifestyle advice videos with money or friends or whatever, just let me know by leaving a comment below what you want to see. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you Sunday for my next video. Bye guys, love you, stay happy, peace out.